Hi, everybody. This is Jeffrey. This is Ripecolor, and this is the weekly reading for the Earth signs Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. All right. So there's this energy of something new being formed, being built, being established, maybe a new way of looking at things, a new way of doing things, a new way of maybe you cut something out and added something. It's just something new, but it's being established. It's not, uh, it's like a process. There's this energy of process, and there's an energy really of something, really a new energy, a new establishment, a new like that. That's the energy. All right. And March is coming. And March is coming. Maybe I'll move this closer. It's a bit of a mess. There. Okay. Away we go. Oh, all right. So we start with the Knight of Cups, and then we move into the Death card, and then the Knight of Swords, the Nine of Swords. Um, it's interesting because they're both moving, and they're both on white horses, which is really about freedom. Like there's a new freedom coming through, and this new, but the thing is that both of these horses are moving rather slowly. So there's like this carefulness to it. There's a um, deliberate action energy. There's a deliberate action energy, right? It's like you're painting the wall, and there's a very deliberateness to it. It's like, okay, I'm going to start at the top where the ceiling is. I'm going to move really carefully, and once I do the corners, then I'll get into the middle. I'm not. There's a real deliberateness to this, and there's an energy of really listening to your intuition, really listening to your inner God, really listening to your heart. Um, that for something that's healing, for something that's kinder, there's a kinder, softer energy coming through. And then we have the Death card, which is an amazing card. So the Death card is really about, utilizing well, acknowledging a certain energy being over, allowing it to be over, and not only allowing it to be over, but utilizing that old energy, maybe that old information, in order to use it for, like, say, fertilizer, um, toward building something new. Because I have the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is like attainment of thought. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really what it is. But a lot of times, the Nine of Swords is seen like, well, I really didn't do that the right way. What have I done? And there's an energy of that. So it's like maybe you tried to paint the wall. This is a really weird example, in another way where you just sort of took the paint and threw it at the wall, which is like I like to paint. And it splashed all over. And it's like, oh, what have I done? And then you have to go back in, and then all the things that are around the wall that it's splashed on, you have to take care of. And then it's like, okay, well, if I'm really meticulous, then it'll work out in a better way. There's an energy of establishing something new that's more healing in a slow and deliberate manner. Okay. Yeah. And then the Devil comes up. So I think you're realizing how you were in the dark. You're realizing how you were sort of tied to a false energy. You were tied to a false energy. You're ready to let go of that false energy. And it's interesting because the Devil can mean a lot of things, but it could be really like coming out of a place, really in the past, say, um, being in fear, being in a certain toxic, maybe relationship or toxic way of thinking, or a dark way of thinking. And it's like, with the death card here, it's like, that's done. You've seen it for what it is. And it's like, no, I'm done with that. And I'm going to release myself from feeling like, let's say it was a job that was really toxic, right? Toxic environment. And it's like, and then all of a sudden it's like, what, this place is really toxic. And I don't really want to be part of this energy anymore. I don't want to be living in fear. I don't want to be living in greed. I don't want to be living around experiencing, people who are all negative. Let's just, for an example. And it's like, I'm releasing myself from that and I'm using that information. It's like, I'm not going to go back there. I'm not going to do business with them anymore. I'm not going, right? And I'm going to use that information. Maybe you did learn something there, say, and it's like, I'm going to utilize that towards something new that can really grow, that can help me see things in a different light, that's more hopeful, etc. Yeah, toward joy, right? See, this is the creativity card also, well, one of them. And I'm going to kind of utilize this to create something new, because all experiences, whether they're good or bad, inform us. And it's like, okay, well, maybe that was like not the most pleasant experience, but I learned a lot from it, and I'm going to utilize what I learned and make it into something useful, right? And because that's what this one does as well. Interesting. And I went to one of the parks here this week, and they have like a fountain. It's a whole thing for Cervantes, who wrote Don Quixote. And it was a really lovely, like, octagonal kind of patio with these beautiful tiles that you could sit. They had like benches made out of tile, not made out of tile, but covered in tile. And in the middle was a fountain. And I initially thought it was like the Three Graces, but it was, and it sort of was, but it was three mermaids, and they had these kind of fishes on their head. It was really cool. And I was like, oh, it's like the Three Graces. So we sat there for a little bit, and then we, kept walking. It was nice though. All right. Yeah. I'm going to get quiet. I'm going to get really, so this is a 4. Excuse me. 4 is about stability. So there's this energy, sometimes in this card, there's an energy of recuperation after a sickness, but it's also this energy, it's a 4 of like calming your mind down, right? Stabilizing your thoughts and saying, let me look at this. Let me meditate on this. Let me contemplate this until something new comes, until I can see it in a different light, until I can, because sometimes something happens and it really upsets you and you get into all this emotional stuff. And it's like, okay, let me look at this in a calm, collected, sort of realistic way. So that is the energy for the earth signs. Please join me for the extended reading. It'll be available, I don't know, it'll say extended reading earth signs. It's available for members, $4.99 a month. And have a lovely week establishing something new. And please join me. Blessings.